it's Explody here. Once again, and today I will show you some best settings for low-end PC. Remember, improving performance on a low-end PC isn't just about disabling things randomly. It's about balancing system resources, reducing unnecessary background processes, and making sure Windows is using its available power efficiently. With an 8GB RAM setup, a 4th gen A7, and a 128GB SSD, the goal is to tweak every aspect of the OS to free up CPU cycles, keep RAM usage low, and ensure storage doesn't slow things down. Some of these tweaks can boost responsiveness instantly, while others help in the long run by preventing performance degradation. If something feels too restrictive, it's always possible to adjust these settings based on what works best. Our first step is virtual RAM, the page file tuning for stable performance without freezes. When physical RAM runs out, Windows starts using the SSD as a virtual memory. By manually setting the page file size, system stability increases, preventing crashes when memory gets full. The best setting depends on workload, but for an 8GB RAM system, setting virtual memory between 8GB to 16GB helps avoid slowdowns. If the SSD is nearly full, reducing the page file size might be necessary to keep storage from clogging up, but at the cost of potential system lag when multitasking. Open System Properties by right-clicking on this PC and selecting Properties. Click on Advanced System Settings. Then under Performance, go to Advanced. Click on Virtual Memory. Uncheck. Automatically manage paging file size. Select the SSD and set initial size to 8,000 megabytes and maximum size to 16,000 megabytes. Apply and restart for changes to take effect. Remember, this is only for 8GB RAM user or 4GB users. For other user, I will make a separate video this later. Secondly, disabling background apps and services for more free RAM and CPU availability. Many built-in Windows apps continue running in the background, consuming RAM and CPU cycles even when not in use. Disabling them frees up resources, making the system feel more responsive. This is especially useful for older CPUs that struggle with multitasking. The downside is that some apps like weather or mail might stop updating in real time, but they can still be opened manually when needed. Go to Settings, then Privacy, and under Background Apps, disable all unnecessary apps. Then press Win+R, type msconfig, and in the Services tab, check Hide All Microsoft Services. Disable anything unnecessary like Xbox services, OneDrive, or telemetry. Turning off Windows, Game Bar, and DVR to prevent performance bottlenecks. Windows automatically records gameplay and captures clips in the background, which is useful for streamers but drains CPU and RAM. Disabling it ensures better frame rates and system smoothness, especially when running games or resource-heavy applications. The only drawback is losing built-in screen recording, but third-party apps like OBS are better alternatives. Open Settings, go to Gaming, and turn off Game Bar and Game DVR. I'll make detail on this about how to disable it permanently because sometimes still it conflict while gaming, which insanely drop FPS in most cases. Just remind me in the comments section and I will cover these topics that I'm highlighting right now while recording this video. Reducing startup programs for a faster boot and more responsive system. Every unnecessary program running at startup increases boot time and eats up RAM before even launching anything manually. Disabling them allows Windows to start cleaner, reducing lag and improving responsiveness. Some apps like antivirus or essential drivers should be left enabled, but non-essentials like Skype, Teams, and OneDrive can be safely disabled. Open Task Manager with Control plus Shift plus EIC, go to the Startup tab, and disable anything unnecessary. Adjusting Windows performance settings to reduce animation. Lag. Windows effects like transparency and animations make the UI look smooth, but on a low-end PC, they use up resources that could be better used elsewhere. Disabling them improves responsiveness, especially when moving windows or opening menus. The system might look a bit plain afterward, but it'll run noticeably faster. Right-click on this PC, go to Properties, then Advanced System Settings. Under Performance, click Adjust for Best Performance to disable all effects. If that looks too harsh, manually enable Smooth Edges of screen fonts to keep text looking clean. Another thing is disabling sysmain, superfetch, and other unnecessary services to reduce SSD wear. Windows tries to predict which apps will be used next by preloading them into RAM, which helps on HDDs but causes unnecessary SSD writes. On low-end systems, this behavior can slow things down instead of helping. Disabling it prevents random disk usage spikes, improving consistency. Press Win plus R, type services.msc, find sysmain, and set it to disabled. Other services like connected user experiences, Windows Search, and remote desktop can also be turned off if not needed. Cleaning up storage and disabling hibernation to free up SSD space. Windows stores temporary files and system logs that take up storage over time. Running disk cleanup removes unnecessary files, while disabling hibernation frees up several gigabytes of space by deleting the hiberfill.sys file. Hibernation is useful for laptops, but on desktops or systems with limited storage, it's better to turn it off. Open Command Prompt as admin and type powercfg h off to disable hibernation. Then open Disk Cleanup, select the SSD and delete temp files, old Windows updates, and log files. Optimizing power plan to unlock maximum CPU performance. Windows automatically balances performance and power usage, but on a low-end system, forcing high performance ensures the CPU runs at full potential without throttling. However, this can slightly increase power consumption and heat, so users who prefer lower temperatures might stick with balanced mode. Open Control Panel, go to Power Options, and select High Performance. If using a laptop, consider a custom plan that keeps the CPU at max, but allows slight power savings when idle. Disabling Windows Defender's real-time protection. If using a lightweight antivirus, Windows Defender constantly scans files in the background, which can cause performance drops when gaming or running heavy applications. If using a third-party antivirus, disabling Defender improves system responsiveness. If no alternative antivirus is installed, keeping Defender on is safer but might slow down file access speeds. So while gaming or heavy tasks, you can temporarily disable it until you finish your work, then re-enable it. It's important for your privacy and security. Open Windows Security, go to Virus and Threat Protection, then Manage Settings and turn off Real-Time Protection. Uninstalling bloatware and unnecessary apps to reduce resource consumption. Pre-installed apps take up space and sometimes run in the background even when unused. Removing them frees up storage and RAM. Most default apps can be deleted safely, except for core Windows components. Go to Settings, then Apps, and uninstall anything unnecessary like Xbox apps, Microsoft News, Weather, or Edge if not used. Disabling hardware acceleration and stopping apps from running in the background doesn't provide much benefit. In Chrome, you can disable background apps by going to Settings, then System, and turning off Continue running background apps when Google Chrome is closed. Edge makes it trickier to stop it from running in the background permanently, but I'll cover that in the next video. Remind me later. Disabling auto-indexing to improve. SSD read-write speed. Windows continuously indexes files for faster searches, but on an SSD this isn't needed and just adds unnecessary writes. Disabling it reduces SSD wear and improves long-term performance. Open File Explorer, right-click the SSD, go to Properties, and uncheck Allow files to have contents indexed. If any tweak feels too restrictive, you can always adjust it based on your needs. Keep your system clean, monitor resource usage, and enjoy a more stable and responsive experience. And yep, don't forget to subscribe. Explodey FPS for more tips and guide. I'm trying to improve my content with time, so your support means a lot to me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care.